Hello everyone, my name is Rosia. I'm currently a fifth year medical student studying at Cambridge, and this video is to give you a blueprint of what I wish I knew when I was applying for medicine, the strategies and the things that you might like to think about between year 11 and year 13 if you're in the UK. There's lots of steps and lots of things that you need to think about when you apply for medicine. The first one is actually whether you want to apply for medicine in the first place. In medicine, they love to see your commitment to medicine. I think it's useful if you sort of think that you might want to apply for medicine to start preparing anyway between year 10 and 11. And that gives you the fallback, and you can show medical schools that you've been preparing from a few years back. From my personal experience, I think that medicine is a great all-rounder course. I thought that 6 years, 5 years, even though it sounds long, actually isn't too bad. So let's start with year 10 and year 11. These years are very important because you're preparing for your GCSEs. During your year 11 year, you also have to decide your A-levels. Chemistry is often a non-negotiable A-level if you want to do medicine. I would also recommend maths and biology simply because it would help you with your actual course, particularly if you're applying for a traditional course. I also think instead of maybe maths, you could potentially choose a more creative subject. Having a broad base of skills is very important to be a good doctor as well, and medical schools would probably appreciate that too. I often used to check this website called What Do They Know? Because I wanted to go to Cambridge. I could see the offer holders for Cambridge had these predicted grades in these exact A-levels, so I could see, oh, they seem to like maths, chemistry, biology. That gave me the groundwork to choose my A-levels. I do think 4 subjects isn't strictly necessary, but if you think you have the time and the effort to do it, then I would recommend it. Another thing that I would recommend for your year 11 year is to look into work experience and volunteering. Volunteering really helps you in speaking to a variety of people, care homes, different charity shops. Personally, I tried to get a volunteering gig at my local care home. However, it all ended quite badly because I was just there, sitting there for quite a while, waiting for someone to turn up who never turned up, and a dead body was wheeled past me, and I was like, okay, I'm giving up on that. So don't worry if you can't get volunteering opportunities. As long as you have enough to talk about in your interviews, then that's the sort of baseline that I would aim for. I actually played some music at different care homes, maybe only once or twice a term with my school, and I volunteered at a few Christian church camps teaching children, and that helped me to have enough material to talk about in my personal statement and my interviews. I knew someone who had done work experience with a surgeon in London, and then I was able to get the surgeon's email and ask him about shadowing him during a week in my summer. If you don't have any contacts, I would recommend looking at the hospital websites near you and just cold emailing doctors and consultants in any specialty that you might be interested in. You can just explain, I'm a year 11 student at this school, I'm interested in applying for medicine, and I'm particularly interested in your specialty because of this and this. Do you have a couple of days or a week where I can spend time shadowing you? You might get lucky and get a placement. In year 12, I would continue looking for volunteering and work experience opportunities if you haven't already got that. The UCAT deadline is on the 15th of October in your year 13 year, so you've still got time during year 12 to build things. Volunteer, look for work experience, join your school's medical society. As long as you have enough to talk about, that's great. Don't sacrifice your revision time for A-levels in order to do work experience. I would also visit universities for open days, find their open days and go to lectures and talk to teachers there and talk to current students to see what sort of vibe you might like. It's not only rankings that are important, it's also whether you like the culture, the place, the societies, the students, where you're going to be living for the next 5 or 6 years. In March to June of year 12, remember to register for the UCAT. It's an exam which all medical schools in the UK use to help with their admissions process. Now this brings me on to the sponsor of this video, MedPrep. They're offering 2 free 3-hour UCAT workshops in central London on the 15th of February 2026. If I was a year 11 or year 12 student, I would book onto that straight away, as it's 3 hours of really useful information that would help you boost your UCAT preparation and score. You'll get some resources and hear from students who have gone through the process. Best of all, it's completely free. So do check out the link in the description box below. Sign up as soon as possible because spaces are filling up fast. Now, moving on to the actual UCAT exam, make sure that you start preparing for it well in advance. You'll probably sit this between July and August. There are definitely lots of strategies that it would be important for you to know in order to score well. During the year 12 to year 13 summer, I would also focus on starting to draft your personal statement. 3 different questions on the UCAS form now, but it's still a personal statement like previous years. You can watch my personal statement being read out by myself and explained in this video as well, which I'll also link here and in the description box below. Now we're moving on to the final sprint, which is the beginning of year 13. Make sure you look after yourself, as applying for medicine is quite stressful and you're going through a different process compared to your other friends. You need to finalise your 4 medical school choices, particularly based on your UCAT score. So if you've done really well, you can optimise and choose the schools that you would really like to go to. If you haven't done as well as you hoped, you can also be strategic in applying to schools which don't value such a high UCAT score and rather value grades or your personal statement or work experience a bit more. Now, after you've submitted your UCAS application on the deadline of the 15th of October, you can now start preparing for interviews. This includes reading books and other articles, also talking to teachers and to your parents or other friends, just talking to them about why you would like to do medicine and giving good reflections about your work experience, about your own character, thinking and reading about potential ethical scenarios, and just keeping up to date with current medical news. If you've applied to Oxbridge, I have lots of videos that I'll link down below which show you how to prepare and examples of actual Oxbridge interviews. I also offer interview coaching, so if you would like extra support and help with your interviews, I've helped lots of students get into their top choice medical and dental universities. That's also in the description box below, so do contact me if you would like some extra support. Usually from about December to March, these are when your actual interviews will be, so make sure that you know what each medical school is looking out for. When you interview at each medical school, make sure that you give them the impression that they are your top choice. Show them that you really want to study at Birmingham, or that you can't see yourself studying anywhere else other than Exeter. So do your research on the nature of the course itself. Do they teach by problem-based learning, case-based learning, traditional lectures? What sort of societies do they have? What sorts of hospitals do their students rotate in? In May, you've probably received all your offers or rejections, so it's time to decide your firm and insurance choice. And it's also time to really focus in on your last A-level preparations, using past papers and marking them yourself, as well as focusing in, locking in, and just trying your best. And then, well done, you've reached the end of year 13 of that long marathon, which is medical school applications. Even if you haven't got an offer, you can always focus in on your A-levels and apply the next year. Or you can go to your 5th choice university, which doesn't have to be a medical course. Good luck with everything, and I hope to see you at the Contour MedPrep UCAT preparation workshops. Do subscribe if you like more of the medical school content. I do film vlogs of my daily life, of what it's like to be a medical student. I'll probably continue when I'm a doctor, so if that's of interest to you, do subscribe and like. And also, if there's anything else you're unsure of, the best way to reach me is probably commenting on this video, and I can give quite a fast reply. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.